Hi, 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 hi. It's us, Ace, Ghost Rider, Allison, and Violet. We're all here to say hello and tell you a story about Allison, retold. You know, Allison went to Puerto Rico port one day. Oh, God, not this story. Yes, this story. And she was walking down the street. And when she saw a shop she liked, she entered it, and the storekeeper said, "Hello, child, how are you today?" She was insulted massively. Nobody, she felt like nobody should call her a child. She's an adult shark. And nobody seemed to give her any respect in Puerto Rico. Because no matter how many shops she stopped in, everybody said the same thing. "Welcome, child. How may I help you?" And she was getting angry. Angrier and angrier and angrier. And so she stopped by the fish market and spotted someone near the port bay with a shark and a knife. She hid in plain sight and watched as this person started to use the knife to cut the shark and began to cut the shark's top dorsal fin off. She got so mad. She walked up to him and snatched his knife from him and said, "If you ever hurt another shark again, you'll be the one getting hurt." The guy got mad and pulled a knife from his boot, and she slammed it out of his hand with the knife in her hand and said, "You want to try that again?" The man was in fear and started to crawl away towards the port, and she threw the knife right in between his legs. He looked down at it and looked back up, and she said, "Like I said, if you ever hurt another shark again, you'll be the one getting cut up." She had a crowd of people looking at her in fear, and she noticed, and she jumped in the water. The people looked for her, fished for her. They could not find her. She returned to her deep depths of the ocean's home, and her mother asked her, "Hey, honey, how was your day?" Oh boy. She told a story like no other. And her mother was mad. So mad that she grounded Allison for a week. Allison sat in her room on her bed and just twiddled her thumbs waiting for the time to pass. And when the time eventually passed, she walked out of her room and bumped into somebody. It was our coach for her training sessions, Skylar. She was holding a pamphlet and said, "My father wanted me to give this to you. He said to think about it, and if you ever want to get stronger, I'm the one who should train you." Just come up to Greenland, to Iceland's mountains, and I'll train you there. Various thoughts went through Allison's mind at the time, such as, will I get grounded if my mother sees this? What will I do if I go back to the surface of Puerto Rico Bay and see that same guy doing the same thing? What will I do if I hurt somebody in the shops? I can't take any chances. I have to go. So she told the coach, I'll do it. But under one condition. My mother is not allowed to know about this. Of course, this was a trick to master chakra control and learn some new magic. So, when the time came for Allison to return to the surface of Iceland, she hiked up the mountains and eventually found the villa where Skylar was staying. Skylar welcomed her with open arms and a hug, then said, "Welcome, Allison. I see you've made your decision, and you know your mother knows about this. My father is quite the trickster." Allison was quite furious and turned around and said, "Demonic inferno, burning blaze of death." A black fire burned from her hand and annihilated every tree in front of it, melting the snow underneath it and demolishing the ground underneath the snow. The coach, Skylar, took a look at this and her eyes widened. She knew that Allison had a massive amount of chakra in her body. She had no chance of controlling it completely. So after months of training, Allison had no other choice. She returned to her coach and said, Coach, I've gotten stronger." And then Skylar slipped on a snake-like bracelet on Allison's wrist. It bit her wrist, injecting a poison into her chakra stream, lowering her amount of chakra just slightly, but enough. Once it happened, Allison collapsed and went into a 2-week coma. Once she woke up, Skylar looked at her and said, and said, "You've been out for 2 weeks. After I put that bracelet on you, you collapsed. The poison was stronger than I thought." My father gave that to me just in case of something like this. Your chakra stream is stronger than your body. If it got out of control, your chakra stream would have poisoned your body and tore you up from the inside to the out. Now listen to me, Allison. Don't go taking this band off unless you really have to. If you use this power within a city, a state, or even a facility, you can destroy it from the inside out, and much more. You can take lives that matter. You can take everything within a 100-mile radius. You are not to take this bracelet off unless it's absolutely necessary. Do you understand? Do I make myself clear? Allison knew her coach was serious, and she nodded slightly, as much as her body would let her. Allison got the strength to stand up. And when she did, she felt her chakra healing her body from the inside out. The coach said, well, seems like you got a fast controlling chakra healing ability. Seems like you can heal quite fast, Allison. Almost to the point where you're immortal, but you're not. No mere mortal, no human, no rational being can understand this. You are a monster from within to the out. You are not to take this bracelet off. You are not to use your healing ability unless it's absolutely necessary. You are not to use your chakra at any point unless it's absolutely necessary. And that brings us to April 3rd, 2023. When a certain corporation intervened with a event, a catastrophic one, and somehow managed to contain her. You see, this day, or rather this night, Allison was walking with her sister to an amusement park to play on the rides with her. Someone fired a bullet directly into Violet's head. Violet is her sister, her younger sister. When Allison thought Violet was dead, she snapped and took off the bracelet and started causing catastrophic damage. And then certain company known as the SCP Foundation took action. They somehow managed to contain Allison and replace the wristband and contain her, but not before removing the bullet from Violet's head. But within doing so, it left a massive tumor in the back of her brain, causing a memory loss, meaning she had to go through psychiatric therapy for several weeks, even months, just to regain her memory. Violet's been looking for her sister ever since, but to no avail. Violet never went to another amusement park after that, knowing what happened, not knowing where her sister was, dealing with the loss of a family member, going through it for 6 months. It's chaos for a child. A lot to take in. She was given a Class B amnestic and sent home underwater, told that she was shot in the head and hit a rock, causing blunt force damage to her skull. You see, Violet has the fastest healing rate and immortality rate in the family, so a single bullet to the head would not kill her, just temporarily bind her. But when that bind wears off, she will go into a frenzy. That's why Allison took action, to prevent this frenzy, because Allison knew that this frenzy would cause nothing more than more damage than Allison can cause. During Allison's containment, she met 2 others in the vehicle she was being transported in. She was in handcuffs and a gag. She met one girl with white hair and golden eyes. She wasn't gagged when she said, "Hey, my name's Ghost Rider. What's yours?" Allison used her chakra to release the gag and said, Ghost said, "I'm Allison. Nice to meet you. Try to keep it down so that guards don't notice us." Ghost Rider laughed. "Ha ha ha ha. They won't notice me. My stealth ratio is 1.3 thousand to 1. They won't even know I'm talking to you." On the other side of the car was a boy in a red hoodie. He had yellow eyes, and they looked demonic, but he looked serious. He kept his mouth shut. He did not talk on the whole way to the facility. He just wrote on a piece of paper while he was handcuffed and handed it to Allison, saying, "N02." And the O was a 0. That must have been his name. Must have taken a lot of skill to capture this guy. He looked like he would have felt quite a fight. Now, to the serious stuff. Allison never harmed a single human soul in her life until that night. The night when they put her in the cell with 682, the unkillable lizard. He was stomping on her chest so badly that her healing abilities were lacking. She got so angry that she caused a massive chakra explosion, destroying half of the room, half of 682, and killing several researchers in the room above, and blasting open the door that was locked. She didn't even bother to walk outside. She just sat on the other side of the remaining room and folded her legs in. And when the guards came to get her, all she said was, "Water, water, water. I need lots of water, not drink. I need water, or more chaos will take over, and everyone here will suffer a fate unlike any other." The guards knew what she meant. 682 heard what she said when he was regenerating. But you see, what the guards and the researchers didn't know, what they had contained, was a shark with a massive amount of chakra power. And chakra is the energy that flows within the body and allows one to use magic. If it weren't for that band, she would have already escaped and destroyed the entire facility in her path. Nobody would have survived it. Nobody would have escaped. You see, Violet was her only way out. Every day she said that name. Violet. 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 At least 7 times. Violet. 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 And if she didn't show up, well, let's just say that chakra band won't last much longer. The reason we know all of this is because she escaped one day. And not because of her chakra power. Not because of her magic. But because of 682. He escaped containment, killed several guards, and left a giant hole in the wall. And a massive breach in her containment cell. She walked outside. No guards surrounding her, all focused on 682. And when she walked outside, she covered her eyes and said, "Sunlight. It's actual sunlight." She snapped out of her trance and began to run into the ocean. She had a tracker dart on her tail. She pulled it out and smashed it, and then ran, swam, as far away as she could. She became an outcast to her family, but eventually found her sister and made some new friends. When she appeared outside the ocean one day, she found one called Ghost Rider, another called Ace, another called Violet. When she heard the last one, she said, "Sis?" Violet hugged. 670, no. She tore that tag off and smashed it. She hugged her sister tightly and cried in her chest, yelling, "I thought you died. I thought I'd never see you again." Allison just patted her back and said, "I knew I'd find you again one day, sis. But this is just a dream, isn't it? You're gone. There's nothing I can do." Violet hugged her tighter and said, "No, this isn't a dream. This is the real me. You can do something, but you can't do everything." The wristband fell off. And where did Allison end up? Of course, back at Puerto Rico Bay. Due to a chakra transfer. And what did she see? That same guy skinning a shark tip. He looked up, dropped his knife, and said, "Oh, crud." Allison walked towards him and said, "He dropped something. Mind if I take it?" She bent over and he stabbed her in the spine, but it instantly healed and she poured it out and asked him, "Are you trying to kill me? Because it won't work, human. I have become something far more different than what I was before. You don't know what you're dealing with. If you're trying to kill me, do it right." He stabbed and he stabbed and he stabbed. The people around were watching, and each stab wound just healed instantly. He said, and he shouted, "You're a monster, a monster, a monster." And she shouted, "No. The only monster around here is you. You're carelessly killing sharks for your own delightful food. And I told you before, I've warned you, if I catch you killing another shark, well, things were gonna be different the next time you did it." And what did I do this time? I caught you killing another shark. Now you will pay. She grabbed a knife from her back and stabbed his hand into his chair. He screamed in pain and said, "Ah, what the hell are you?" She said, "A monster? No. I've gone farther in hell than that. Much, much deeper. Far deeper than the ones that reside within demons. I have become a messenger, I guess you could say. And I'm here to deliver a message to you. If I ever see you killing another shark again, it'll be your last time. Mark my words. And even if you try to hide it, I'll still see it. So good luck." He trembled in fear and pulled the knife out of his hand and threw it into her chest, Bowie knife style. The crowd panicked and she said, "Is that all you've got, then? Very well. You don't know the difference between cat and mouse, do you? One plays predator, one plays prey. And since you just decided to play prey, I'm going to play predator. She pulls the knife out of her chest and it heals instantly with the chakra. She clips the wrist band and says, "You don't know anything, do you?" Suddenly, her coach appears and clips the wristband back on and said, "No, I told you if you try to destroy a city." Allison intervened and said, "I'm not trying to destroy a city, coach. I'm trying to destroy a man." The coach flinched and said, "What?" "A man who keeps on killing sharks, which is a sin." To my cause and to various others. She looks at her, and says, "As long as you're not trying to destroy a city, I'll allow it." She unclips the wrist, and Allison breathes in, focuses a little bit of chakra, and blasts the man into oblivion. Then reclips the band and said out loud, "If anyone tries to kill a shark, kill me, kill my friends, or any other related, you will suffer the same fate as that man did." Now listen, and listen well. There are 3 rules here. Don't kill sharks, don't come after me, and don't call me short, kid, or young, or fish face. Got it? If you break any of these rules, you will suffer the consequences. Now, farewell and good night. SCP vehicles approached her, but she was already gone. They dropped death charges in and death finders, but to no avail. Allison was far gone. She was already at the bottom of the ocean and still swimming. And what did she meet there? A megalodon on fire. She was shocked, but she didn't show it. She introduced herself, and it introduced itself. It said, "Hi, I'm Bernie Mako." a pleasure to meet you. Allison. If you ever need help with anything, let me know. Alice nodded and continued to swim. As Burning Mako continued to swim, one of the Deathfinders found him. And the SCP Foundation started dropping hooks. And when they pulled him up, they were in for quite a surprise. A massive, burning megalodon, part Mako, started tearing them to shreds in no time. Once he was complete, he returned to the water and disappeared. Into the night. And once you meet Burning Mako, you're eternally cursed. The image of him is burned into your mind, and you cannot stop seeing him for the rest of your life. Allison witnessed this every night she tried to sleep. All she could see were terrors of Burning Mako. All the acts he's committed, all the murders, everything he's done. But there's no end to his horrors. Now, if you really want to know about Allison and Burning Mako, I'd recommend talking to the man himself. And I have just the person. You're about to meet him. He also goes by Lucifer. Say hello to the one and only Burning Mako. Hello, hello, hello. I was quite busy, but I have some time to spare. I used to go by Burning Mako, but now I rule over hell. My name is Lucifer now. What do you want? You want to know about Burning Mako's past? I suppose I could spare a little bit of time talking about it. You see, Ace has already told you. Once you meet Burning Mako, you cannot unsee what he has done in your sleep. But there's one thing he left out. Nobody escapes the Megalodon. If you ever witness a burning Mako, don't look at it in the eyes. Because if you do, you'll end up like me. Black eyes with red eyes. A demon ruling over an army. Now, I have work to do. Get me out of here. Master. Sure thing. Oh, I'm bringing the one and only. Hi, hi. Hi, 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 hi. I'm the child. Yeah, we know who you are. It's all dark faces. Brighten out. I said brighten up. That's better. You want to mind explaining to me what's going on? Well, for starters, we're just discussing Allison's past up until now. Oh, I can do that. I see everything through the fairies. Yeah, right. Don't believe me? Just try me. Last night you were trying to sneak out of your room so you can go to a party. That's not true. Hit the money right in the jackpot, didn't I? Shut up. Is that true, Allison? No, of course not. Little parties. Oh, please. Yes, you do. You love parties. No, I don't. Okay, then prove it. Thought so. Sis, is that true? Of course not, Violet. I had stayed in bed all night last night. Don't lie. What are you gonna do about it? Sis? I'm not lying. Oh, okay. Allison. Shut up, you're just a kid. I may look like a kid, but I'm much older than I look. So if you have any respect for your elders, I suggest using it now. And this isn't my only form. The only form that I keep talking about. Oh, I'll show you. I have 3 of them. This is just one of them. What? Oh, yeah. Here's 2. Actually, I have 4. Here's 2. You're a fairy? Oh, of course I am. You just now noticed? Get back to the story already, jeez. But I'm more really curious about your 2 more. Just get back to the story. Fine, fine. Okay, he's back in here so I can tell it. Okay. Hey, sir, back. Yeah, I'm back. So, finish a story, you dummy. Oh, that. I forgot where I was at. Are you serious? You gotta be kidding me. Does anyone remember where he was at? No. Nope. You see, this is why you don't interrupt with guests. It's because we always end up forgetting where we were at. And losing track of the story. I'm sorry, but I had to. I don't want to hear it. This is your fault. Yeah, it is. Alright, you know what? To make up for it, I'll tell a different story. One that I do know. Oh, you better know it. Oh, I do, trust me. Here we go. It's called Don't Just Assume. Oh, who's it about? Who do you think? It's about me, isn't it? Yep. But this one is a bit different. Oh? Please do explain. You'll see. You know what really ticks me off? Oh, I guess I should introduce myself. Hi, everyone. Hi, hello. My name is Allison, and I'm a special kind of shark. Okay, now you know what really ticks me off. I took a walk through the port town yesterday, and I was both insulted and disgusted. Me, can you tell me what you saw? Good grief! Fine. If my blood sugar gets too high, blood pressure gets too high. Me, look, I get it. Now, will you please tell me what you saw? You know, the first thing that ticks me off is when people call me names like little kid or short stuff or fish face. Good lord, that one's the second worst. What's the first? Allison, I'm getting there. Now I was taking a stroll through Puerto Rico's port town after one afternoon, and boy was I in for it. People were constantly calling me names such as short stuff, squirter kid. I was at my peak until I saw a man cutting off the top of top fin of a living shark. That's when I approached the man and snatched his knife away from him and put it back into the water, carelessly knocking over a wooden bowl of well-made soup, and mumbled to myself, "Shark fin soup." I carelessly punched into the corner of the dock and shouted, "You were gonna cut off his fin to make yourself a bit of shark fin soup. There's an entire ecosystem down there. If I, Allison the Bull, ever see you try this again, you won't be so lucky, understand?" The man scoffs. "Bull? That's exactly what this is." Allison threw the knife in between the man's leg and asked him, "Can you prove it to me then?" My body may look like this of a child's, but today I have the truth about this port. My blood pressure was too high to deal with anymore. Therefore I shall take a swim, Portman. No, Puerto Rico, you are all disgusting to me. I, Allison Rosemary Mega Bullshark, will return in 6 days. I have a meeting with a client of sorts in the Iceland's mountains. That's it. That's it. That's it. That was really good. I am utterly surprised. That was really good. But there's one question that bothers me. Huh? What's that? Was this based off of my original story? Or was it meant for something else? A little bit of both, actually. Huh? You see, Master was planning on doing some ventriloquism. Oh. And he wanted to do a little bit of comedy. Oh. He thought this would be the perfect opportunity for some comedy. Oh. And a little bit of ventriloquism. Oh. So, He made up this story. The real name is Allison Goes to Puerto Rico Port. Oh. You see. Well, I guess I should. Wait, now he's falling asleep. Master, do you want to go to bed? Yes. We won't stop you. If you're that tired, go to bed. It's 3:14 in the morning. You deserve it. Yeah. You worked hard. You've earned it. Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all later. Just don't work yourself too hard like you did tonight, okay? Sure thing, friends. See you later. Night, 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 night. Night, friends.